Please like this video and subscribe. I really want to reach my first 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. Before I get into this, here's the point of telling it all. Most guys don't get blindsided by one big moment. They get softened up first. Too much sweetness, then just enough cold to make you doubt yourself, then a little joke in public to see if you'll smile and take it. This story is about spotting that early pattern and reacting like an adult. Calm rules, clear consequences, and protecting your time, money, and peace without turning into a shouting match. If you've ever felt your partner manage you with tone shifts and selective attention, pay attention to how I handled the first small disrespect. Because the big problems don't start big. They start with someone testing whether you'll accept less than basic respect. Megan met me at the door like she was filming an ad. Not normal, hey, you're home. Not even excited. This was staged. House warm, lights low, some sweet smell in the air, and she was already on me, arms locked around my shoulders like I was a life raft. 3 weeks, she murmured into my neck. Whole evening is mine. You're mine. She grabbed my duffel before I could set it down. Babe, I can. Nope. You're done carrying things. Come on. I followed her in, still half in road brain. Raleigh traffic, job site dust, airport carpet smell stuck in my head. I want to believe it. I wanted to drop into a clean house and a soft wife and pretend the last 3 weeks of concrete, inspections, and deadlines didn't exist. Kitchen table set. Candles. A whole roasted chicken with rosemary like she'd been practicing on a cooking show. She kept touching me. Shoulder. Forearm. Collar. Little laughs at nothing. How was San Antonio? Did you sleep? Did they make you fly through Dallas? Did you eat airport food like a raccoon again? I gave her a tired smirk. Raccoons are survivors. Don't disrespect the craft. She laughed too loud, like it was the funniest thing she'd ever heard. Then she leaned in, kissed me, and held my face with both hands. I missed you, she whispered. I missed everything. Your stupid work boots. Your stupid coffee breath. Yeah. I glanced around. You missed me enough to turn our house into a date night set. She didn't blink. Don't start. Just let me have you. There it was. The first tiny signal. Not a harsh word. Just pressure. Like she was trying to seal the deal before I asked questions I didn't know I needed to ask. If I'd known where it was headed, I would have taken my shower, eaten my chicken, and stayed a lot more awake. That first night, she stayed wrapped around me like a scarf. She asked 1,000 questions. Not deep ones. Logistics. Times. Airports. Which coworker was on site with me? When I'd be gone again? I answered because that's what husbands do. I also clocked it because I'm not 12. The next few days, it stayed sweet. Morning kisses. Texts. How's your day? Random photos of the dog, like she was trying to prove she existed in our life while I was away. Then week 2 hit like a switch got flipped. I'd call after work, and it would ring until voicemail. 2 hours later, sorry babe, I fell asleep early. The next day, I'd text, you alive? Nothing. Then, busy day, meetings. Then I noticed the phone trips. She'd be on the couch scrolling, and the second I walked in, she'd stand up like the couch was on fire. I'm gonna take a shower. Phone in hand. Bathroom door click. Another night, I came in from the garage and heard her voice cut off mid-sentence. Not loud, just interrupted, like a call ended. She looked up too fast. Hey, I hung my keys. Who were you talking to? No one. Just Claire. You sounded intense for just Claire. She waved it off. Work stuff. Don't do that. Do what? That tone. Like I'm on trial. I actually laughed. One short breath. A trial? Megan. I asked who you were talking to. She walked past me, phone tight in her hand. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. At 7:45, she stopped at the hallway and turned. Is that a problem now? I stared at her for a beat, then nodded once. Nope. You do you. She disappeared into the bedroom and shut the door like it was a statement. I didn't chase it. I didn't stand outside like a sad character in a movie. I made a sandwich, fed the dog, and sat at the kitchen table with my laptop open, looking at our shared calendar. Not because I wanted to control her, because the house had turned into a place where I was being managed. And I don't live in a place where I'm being managed. The next morning, I made coffee and waited until she came in. She was already on her phone, hair messy, wearing one of my old t-shirts like a prop. Morning, She mumbled, eyes down. I slid my mug a couple inches just to give my hand something to do. We need to talk. Her thumbs kept moving. About what? You've gotten cold. I kept my voice flat. If it's stress, say stress. If it's me, say me. Finally, she looked up. Not guilty. Annoyed. James, I am tired. This quarter at work is brutal. I'm not asking for a report. I'm asking why you vanish for hours and take your phone to the bathroom like it's life support. She scoffed, and it wasn't a funny scoff. It was a little blade. So now we're doing text check-ins? Like a schedule. I held her gaze. Respect isn't a schedule. It's basic connection. She leaned back and crossed her arms. Wow, so dramatic. I let that sit for a second. Here's what we're not doing. We're not turning me into the needy guy because I noticed the temperature changed. Her lips tightened. You're the one gone all the time. And when I'm gone, I still show up. I pointed at the counter. You want to be busy? Fine. But busy people communicate. A simple, I'm tied up, call you later takes 10 seconds. She rolled her eyes like I was boring her. You're acting like I'm doing something wrong. I nodded slowly. You are. And here's my part. I'm not going to sit around waiting for scraps of attention. If you're not including me in your life, I'm not rearranging mine around you. I got my schedule, my people, my work. I'll run my life. You can decide if you're in it. That got her attention. Not love attention. Control attention. So you're punishing me? I gave her a look. No, I am adjusting. Punishment is emotional. This is logistics. She stared like she didn't know what to do with a man who didn't beg. Whatever, she muttered. I've got a meeting. She left the kitchen with her phone in her hand, and that same quick step like she couldn't afford to be in the room too long. Micro cliffhanger number 1. She'd started calling basic standards drama. That's not a misunderstanding. That's a tactic. That week, I acted first. Friday was our usual us night. Movie, takeout, couch. I didn't mention it. I didn't negotiate. I texted her noon. Got training after work. Dinner's on you if you're home. If not, I'll see you later. She read it. No reply. So I went to the gym, met my buddy Marcus after, and we grabbed burgers at a place near Cary that didn't pretend to be fancy. Marcus is one of those guys who never raises his voice, but you feel him in the room. Former military, now site safety supervisor, and he has zero patience for games. He watched me cut my burger in half like I was doing math. He asked, "You good?" "I'm fine." That's not an answer. I snorted. My wife's doing this thing. Hot when I get home. Cold once she thinks I'm settled. Marcus chewed slowly. And you're letting it ride? I'm changing the rules. He nodded once. Good. Because if you start performing for her moods, you're done. I smirked. You should sell that on a shirt. He pointed his fry at me. No, you should live it. When I got home, the house was dark. Her car was there, but the bedroom door was closed. I didn't knock. I didn't announce myself like I needed permission to exist. I showered, put my phone on the kitchen counter on purpose, and went to bed in the guest room. Next morning, she came in like a storm. So we're doing this, she snapped. I looked up from tying my shoes. Doing what? This. She waved at the room. Sleeping apart. Acting weird. I stood up straight. Calm. I told you. If you're distant, I'm not chasing. I'm not acting weird. I'm acting clear. Her eyes narrowed. You're trying to teach me a lesson. I chuckled. Megan, I'm not your dad. I'm your husband. I'm protecting my peace. That afternoon, I made another move that wasn't emotional. Just adult. We had a few shared auto payments on my card for household stuff. I didn't rip anything away. I didn't leave her stranded. I simply moved the non-essential ones over to the joint account and left the basics in place. When she noticed, she didn't ask like a partner. She accused like a manager. You took things off your card. I didn't even look up from my laptop. Yep. Why? Because I'm not funding a life I'm not included in. Her mouth opened, then closed. So you admit it. You're punishing me. I met her eyes. No, I'm reducing access. That's what adults do when respect drops. She shook her head like I was the problem. Unbelievable. Then she pivoted like flipping channels. Fine. Her voice went soft. Too soft. I'll make your favorite tomorrow. The grilled chicken with the lemon thing. There it was. The comfort lever. Food. Cozy. Reset vibe. Anything to get back to the version of me who doesn't question. I nodded once. Make it if you want. It doesn't fix what I'm talking about. Her smile twitched. Not real. You're impossible. The weekend after that, we went to a neighbor's barbecue. Tyler and Denise live 2 houses down. Tyler's a talker. Big gestures, loud laugh. Always trying to be the mayor of the street. Denise is the opposite. Quiet, observant, the kind of woman who notices everything and says almost nothing. Megan held my arm on the walk over like we were a perfect couple again. See, she said bright. Normal. We're fine. I kept my voice light. We're not fine. We're functioning. She squeezed my arm hard enough to signal. Shut up. Backyard full of people. Kids running. Somebody manning the grill like it was a sacred duty. Tyler yelled, James, welcome back, man. How's the traveling life? I smiled. It's glamorous if you like fluorescent lighting and stale pretzels. People laughed. Megan laughed louder. Then she did it. She waited until a little circle formed, until people were half listening, and she aimed a joke straight at my dignity. Oh, don't listen to him about healthy eating, she announced. This man hits airports like they're all-you-can-eat buffets. A couple heads turned. A couple chuckles. Tyler Bark laughed like it was comedy hour. It wasn't the content. It was the delivery. Public. Loud. Designed to put me under her thumb while everyone watched. I kept my smile, but I didn't let it slide. I raised my eyebrow just enough. She loves to think she manages my diet, I said, clear and calm. She doesn't. Silence for half a second. Then Denise let out a small laugh that sounded like approval, not mockery. Tyler blinked and shifted his tongs. All right then, he said, too cheerful. Who wants burgers? Megan's hand fell off my arm like it got burned. She leaned in close, teeth showing like a smile, but it wasn't one. Did you have to do that? I sipped my soda. You did it first. It was a joke. It was a test. Her eyes flashed. You're embarrassing. I shrugged. No, I am consistent. On the walk home, she moved fast, like she wanted to get inside where she could control the room. In the driveway, she spun on me. You couldn't just laugh? I set my keys in my palm. If you take shots at me in public, I'll respond in public. Clean. Simple. No dirt. But I'll respond. So we're keeping score now. I stepped closer, not aggressive, just present. No, we're setting standards. You want respectful? I am respectful. You want equal fire? Then don't complain about heat. Her jaw tightened. You're so dramatic. I nodded once. And you're so comfortable calling me that instead of looking at what you're doing. She walked inside and, like clockwork, took her phone to the bathroom and locked the door. Micro cliffhanger number 2. The moment I set a public boundary, she ran to privacy with that phone like it was a lifeline. The next morning, she tried the first soft reset. I came into the kitchen and she made pancakes. Not boxed. The whole spread. Coffee already poured. Plate waiting. She looked up with a gentle face like she'd rehearsed it. Hey, she said quietly. About last night, I was sharp. I leaned on the counter. You were. She nodded. Eyes on the pancakes like they were a peace offering. I shouldn't have done that. I am sorry. I'll let the silence breathe, because rushing past an apology teaches people they can toss one out like a coupon. Thank you, I said. Now here's the rule. When I call, you answer when you can, and if you can't, you send a quick message. Same for me. If you're going to bed early, you tell me. We don't do disappearing acts. She blinked, and I could see her wanting to argue, but she swallowed it. Okay, she whispered. That's fair. I sat down and ate the pancakes. I'm not made of stone. For a second, it felt like maybe she got it. But I didn't move my boundaries. I kept my schedule. I kept my distance. I kept watching. Because real change doesn't show up as breakfast. It shows up as consistency when nobody's watching. A few days later, she went right back to delayed replies and closed-door phone time. Then she escalated again, different angle. You've been weird lately, she said one night, arms crossed. Like you're punishing me and pretending it's boundaries. I glanced up from rinsing a plate. I'm not pretending. I'm doing. She scoffed. You think you're so calm. You're just controlling. I dried my hands, turned to her. Control is me telling you where you can go and who you can talk to. I'm not doing that. I'm telling you what access you get to me. She stared like I'd spoken a foreign language. That Friday, she proposed dinner out. Her voice was bright again. Too bright. Let's go to that steakhouse in Cary, she said. The one by the highway. Let's just reset. Reset, I repeated. Okay. At the restaurant, she was suddenly the perfect date. Phone face down, smile on, touching my hand in the booth. I want a clean slate, she said. No tensión. No weird energy. I studied her. A clean slate needs honesty. She nodded quickly. Yes, exactly. Then she did something new. She grabbed the check before I could. I've got it, she said, almost proud. Let me take care of you for once. That wasn't generosity. That was theater. A little performance of independence and care designed to make me relax and stop noticing patterns. And it almost worked. I felt my shoulders drop a notch. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I glanced down. I want to see you tonight. You free? I didn't react. I didn't show her. I just looked at the screen like it was a work alert. Megan kept talking a little too fast. And maybe this weekend we can go out of town? Just us. Like before. The phone buzzed again. Hey, don't ignore me. I slid the phone into my pocket. Calm face. Normal breath. When we got home, Megan went straight to the bathroom again. Phone in hand. Door locked. I stood in the kitchen and pulled my phone out. I typed one message back to the unknown number. Who is this? Immediate reply. LOL. Someone who misses you. I stared at it, then typed. I'm married to your friend Megan. Pause. Then, that doesn't stop her from seeing her guy. My face didn't change. My stomach didn't drop. What I felt was cleaner than emotion. Confirmation. I called the number. A woman picked up on the second ring. James. Her voice was steady. Not flirty. Not scared. Just done. Yeah. It's Claire, she said. And before you ask, no, this isn't a mistake. I leaned on the counter, eyes on the dark window. Why are you calling me? Because I'm tired of watching her play both sides, Claire replied. You want facts or you want comfort? I let out one short laugh. Facts. Good. Meet me at that steakhouse in Cary. Tonight. Public place. I'll bring everything. What's everything? Dates. Photos. Video clips. A timeline. Enough that she can't talk her way out of it. I didn't hesitate. Send me the time. 8, Claire said. And James. Yeah. Her voice softened just a hair. Don't confront her tonight. Don't give her a stage. I wasn't planning to. Micro cliffhanger number 3. Someone outside my marriage just offered me a folder of reality, and my wife was behind a locked door with her phone. At 8, I drove to Cary. I didn't speed. I didn't blast music. I drove like I was going to inspect a job site. Claire was already there, sitting in a booth with a plain folder and a drink she wasn't touching. She looked like she hadn't slept right in weeks. Not messy, just worn out. James, she said, standing halfway like she didn't know the rules of this meeting. I slid into the booth. Claire. She pushed the folder across without drama. No speeches. I asked. She gave me a tight smile. You don't need my feelings. You need the map. I opened it. Photos. Timestamps. Locations. Megan's car parked places it had no business being while I was out of town. Short video clips. Nothing graphic, just enough to show arrivals, departures, body language, familiarity. A written timeline with dates that matched my travel schedule to the day. My eyes moved like I was reading blueprints. Claire watched me carefully. I'm not doing this to hurt you, she said. I'm doing it because I hate what she's become. I didn't look up. How long? Claire exhaled. Long enough that the I'm tired routine isn't about sleep. I tapped one photo with my finger. This is a Tuesday. I was in San Antonio. She told me she was slammed at work. Claire nodded. That's why I saved everything. Because she lies fast. I closed the folder and sat back. Claire swallowed. Are you okay? I met her eyes. I'm clear. That's the difference. A lot of men get emotional and call it love. I got organized and called it reality. I stood. Thank you. She blinked. That's it. That's plenty, I replied. You gave me facts. I don't need a sermon. As I walked out, she added, James, she's going to try to flip it on you. I didn't turn around. She can try. That night, I didn't storm into the bathroom door. I didn't demand her phone. I didn't play detective in my own house. I waited. The next morning, while Megan was at work, I executed. Passport, birth certificate, project documents, laptop, external drive, a few personal items that mattered. I packed them clean, like a man moving valuables before a hurricane. Then I made one appointment with a family attorney. Not a war. Not a spectacle. Just instructions on clean steps and what not to do. The attorney's advice was simple. Don't announce, don't threaten, don't create scenes. Move quietly. Protect your assets. Keep communication short. So I did. I kept the basics running so the house didn't collapse. I stopped anything extra. I moved my direct deposit. I separated what needed separating without waving in her face. That afternoon, Megan came home in a bright mood, like she could sense something and wanted to cover it with sugar. "Hey, handsome," she sang, wrapping her arms around me from behind. I didn't stiffen. I also didn't melt. "Hey," she kissed my shoulder. "I've been thinking. We should plan something. Like a weekend away." I nodded. "Maybe." She pulled back, studying my face. "You're being weird again." I gave her a neutral look. "I'm Busse. About another trip coming." Her eyes lit up with relief, so fast she didn't catch herself. "Oh, when?" "Soon," I answered, watching her. "San Antonio again." She masked it with a smile, but I saw it. The comfort of predictability. The relief that her schedule would open. That told me everything about her goal without her ever admitting it. That night, after she went to bed early, of course, my phone buzzed. A voice message from Megan. Her voice was syrup. Bubby, I miss you even when you're in the other room. I'm sorry I've been distant. I adore you. You're my person." 2 seconds later, another message came in. Text. From Claire. "Hope you're okay. If you need anything practical, just ask. No pressure." One was performance. One was human. A few days later, I flew out again. Not because I was running. Because my work was real, and now my exit plan was real too. While I was in San Antonio, Megan kept sending sweet voice notes. Too sweet. Too frequent. "Thinking about you. Come back safe. You're everything to me." I listened to them like I'd listen to a commercial. Familiar tone. Same script. Same goal. Keep the comfort. Keep the status. Keep access. I didn't argue. I didn't accuse. I answered politely and briefly. Back in Raleigh a week later, I returned home at a normal hour. Not late night dramatic. Just after dinner. Megan had done it again. Flowers on the counter. Dinner ready. Music low. That ad wife set. She met me with the same too tight hug. "There's my man," she whispered. I made it special. I set my bag down gently. Looked around. Then I looked at her. "Megan," I said, calm. "Sit down." Her smile froze. "What is this?" I pulled an envelope from my jacket and placed it on the table between us like a finalized contract. "What's that?" she asked, voice sharpening. "Paperwork," I replied. She didn't touch it. "Why are you doing this?" I didn't raise my voice. "Because I know." Her eyes flashed. "Know what?" "I have dates. Places. A timeline." I kept my words clean and spare. I saw the materials. She went pale for half a second, then snapped back into anger, because anger is how control-addicted people avoid fear. "Who told you?" I gave her a small shrug. "Doesn't matter." "It matters," she hissed. "They're trying to ruin us." "No, incorrecta. You did that." They just stopped covering for it. She stood up. "James, you don't understand." I held up a hand. Not dramatic. Just a stop sign. "Don't." She blinked. "Don't what?" "Don't perform," I said evenly. "Don't cry on cue. Don't turn this into a debate. I'm not here to negotiate respect." Her mouth opened, then closed. She tried a softer tone, like switching to a new tool. Okay. We can talk. We can fix this. We can." I shook my head once. "No." The word landed heavy because it was final. I slid my phone across the table and played one of her syrupy voice messages from San Antonio. Her own voice filled the room, all devotion and sweetness. Then I stopped at mid-sentence. "That," I said, meeting her eyes, "is what you use to keep the house quiet. Not what you use to keep a marriage healthy." Her face twisted. "You're being cruel." I leaned in slightly. "Cruel is making a man feel crazy for noticing coldness while you lock yourself in the bathroom with your phone." She slapped the envelope with her palm. "So what? You're kicking me out? Over what you think you saw?" I didn't flinch. Over what I confirmed. She stared at me, breathing fast, trying to calculate. I delivered it clean. "You have 2 hours to pack your essentials," I said. "You'll stay with someone else. We'll handle the rest on a schedule." Her eyes widened. You can't do that. I nodded once. I can. I am. She went for the social weapon. What will people think? I'm not making announcements, I replied. But you're going to feel the silence. You can't manage silence. Her throat worked like she wanted to swallow panic. You're really doing this, she whispered. I stood up and grabbed my keys. Yes. She stepped toward me, voice cracking into something almost real. James, please. Just don't. We have a life. I looked her dead in the eye. Respect is the minimum, I said. You're below zero. Account closed. Then I walked out. No shouting. No slamming doors. Just a man leaving a room where he wasn't valued. That night, I stayed at Marcus's place. He didn't ask for the story. He just handed me a spare key and pointed to the guest room. In the weeks after, Megan tried every version of sweet she had. Messages, apologies, anger, more sweetness, then blame, then sweetness again. I kept it simple. Short replies, logistics only. No emotional negotiations. No private meetings where she could twist words. Claire and I spoke a few times, and it was the weirdest kind of calm. Two adults acknowledging reality without theater. Months later, my life looked cleaner. I rented a place closer to my projects. I slept better. I trained consistently. I upgraded my truck. Work got easier because my home life stopped draining me. I started seeing a woman named Tessa, 42, blunt, steady. The kind of person who doesn't weaponize silence or sugar. She asked direct questions and respected direct answers. It felt normal in a way I'd forgotten existed. As for Megan, the perfect wife image didn't survive without the husband standing next to it. People noticed the shift, not because I told them, because patterns don't hide forever when the props get pulled away. And that's the part nobody tells you. When you stop participating in the actor panics. Not because they miss you, because they miss the control. Here's what I learned, and it's why I'm telling you this. First, excessive sweetness can be a cover, not a gift. When someone comes on too strong, too fast, with a clean slate vibe before any real conversation, don't just enjoy it, observe it. Real closeness doesn't need to be staged. It's consistent. It doesn't disappear the moment you settle back into routine. Second, don't argue about feelings with someone who's managing you. I didn't win by proving I was right. I won by changing access. I adjusted my schedule. I protected my money. I stopped rewarding distance with extra effort. That's not cruelty. That's self-respect in action. The mistake would have been begging for attention, chasing explanations, or accepting you're dramatic as a substitute for accountability. Third, when facts arrive, don't give them a stage. The biggest trap is confrontation for the sake of emotional release. That just gives a manipulative person room to spin, stall, and flip the blame. I treated it like closing a bad project. Gather documentation, get professional guidance, move quietly, then execute cleanly. Calm decisions hit harder than angry speeches because calm decisions can't be derailed. Bottom line, comfort is not the same as respect. If you have to trade your dignity for a quiet house, the house is already broken. The moment you choose your boundaries over the performance, you get your life back.